Hello everybody and welcome back to another lockpicking video. And yeah, today we have a great lock here from ABUS and Pfaffenhain. This is the K14 from ABUS. And yeah, let's pick it. So what makes this lock so special? Well, if you take a look at this key from this side, it looks quite normal. But on this side you see some holes, some dimples, and these interact with ball bearings here on the side, and these are actually actively locking the core from rotation. You can also have these dimples with passive pins, but no, these are sprung loaded and they need to be set at shear, otherwise the lock will not open. And you also see this here on the bottom of the plug with these 5 plugs here on the side. The main stack here is hidden. You don't see that basically, but the sidebar or side pins are here. We see 5 plugs and this only has 4 dimples. And yeah, the solution is this can be pinned up to 5, and this version here only has 4 ball bearings installed on the side. So, which model is this actually now? And this was a little bit of a story on finding it out, because ABUS has a lot of very similar models. And there's no engraving on the key here, just yeah, probably the locksmith who made this key or so, or sold the cylinder. And of course nothing on the lock itself. So I first thought it was something like the KV14 or so, but no, I was wrong, and I was lucky that I got some help from the APU community figuring this out. Decoder helped me a lot there, and yeah, this is a table I came to the conclusion what we are talking about. So this is definitely the series 14, what ABUS calls it, which means that the core has a diameter of 14 millimeters, which is larger than the normal lock. And this is increasing the security a bit because the pins can be longer and they need more lift to be set. That is clue number 1. So 14 is for sure, but they all share the name 14. So I browsed through the catalogs, and what they all have in common is they have different versions. So just 14 and a single letter is the standard version. That would be without dimples. So no side pins, no ball bearings or whatever. Then we have the X coming in. Yeah, all these share the X as well to their other letter, and the X means they will have a passive row of pins. So this would be for key control, for example. Then I would also not be able to turn the core with the wrong key inserted, but for lockpicking this would not be relevant because you would just have to pick the main stack, which can be either 5 or 6 pins depending on how it is set up. Then there's another row, the K row, which means, I guess, Kugel, hopefully, so German word for ball. And this is indication for the ball bearings. And this is the good stuff. These are the active side pins. So all these could be this model because we have active side pins here. I figured that out rather quickly. But which version is it now? So W is a version with a turn key where you can insert the key in both ways. And this has a very wide open keyway and is also ranked a green belt in the APU belt ranking. So this wasn't it because yeah, I cannot insert the key both ways. Then the Y version has a deltus to its name and it has a special tip on the key. And this is not the case here either. The Y version also shares the same keyway with the V version. So this is very paracentric, and I hope I can show you this on the screen. It is very bent and very complicated, and yeah, looks maybe a bit more difficult than what I'm dealing with here. So these could not be the case either. So the Z version wasn't also the case because there's no K version of it, well, it seems like. So it must be the standard version. And yeah, if you look in the catalog, and I will show a screenshot here, you can see that the keyway checks out with what is shown in the catalog. And that must be what we're dealing with here. So this must be the ABUS K14. And I couldn't find a video on YouTube actually, somebody picking this. So if you find a video, let me know in the comments, please. Would love to see somebody else picking this exact model. How difficult was this to pick? These are all ranked blue belt. This one is green belt. This is, or these at least, the K version, the good stuff. And that was unrated, and this is also unrated. But I think for me, this is also at least a blue belt. I had really difficulties picking this lock in the beginning. I couldn't get anywhere. I really had to take it apart and check out what's going on. And only then I realized, when I had it apart, that these ball bearings here, especially the first and the last one, basically need no lift at all, and you overset them very, very easily. So what I had to do is take a steep hook and really navigate my way through the keyway and pick the main stack around these ball bearings. Like you can move 3-dimensional in the keyway. This worked pretty nice. Just like this. I mean, there's more space in the keyway a little bit, especially here in the middle. But yeah, with the low lift ball bearings, I had to be really careful, basically not to touch them and set the pins around them. And this was quite difficult for me, I must say. So for me, this is at least a blue belt. For tension, I used yeah, something like this on the face of the lock. Gives you very good core control, but yeah, don't drop it. And for setting the ball bearings, I used a trusty half diamond, which works nice. And yeah, basically you only have to set the middle ones, like the second and the third one, and the fourth one needs a slight tap. Yeah, enough blabbing and talking about which lock this is. Let's get it in a vise and get it picked. See you back in a second. Okay, here we are back in a vise. Key works fine. Let's get the tensioner, and then I tension counterclockwise, and then usually the side pins bind first, all the ball bearings here, and quite heavy tension on that. Okay, nothing's binding. Oh, the second one. Okay, the third one now, small click. Okay, let's check again. Yeah, okay, now I have the problem that the ball bearing in chamber 1 is not reset, even though I pulled out the key, and only now it's sprung into the keyway. I don't know if this lock has a defect or so, but it's impossible to pick if it's overset when pulling out the key. Now pin 2 is binding, that's nice. Or yeah, you know what I mean. Pin 2 on the sidebar. Okay. Okay. Let's check if pin 1 is binding, then we're on a right path. Yeah, it is. Okay. pin 2. Come on. It's so hard to get between those ball bearings. Okay, pin 3 or something. I think it's 3, yeah. Pin 4. This one needs to be set really deep. Okay, now we have a nice fourth set. And this Sharpie marking here, do you see it even? Yeah, I can show you later. I made a Sharpie marking for the last pin, which is giving me counter rotation now. Okay, got the set. Now I think only pin 2 should be left, which should be here. Yeah, strong counter rotation on this one. And reopen. So yeah, once you know what you're doing, it works out. But in the beginning I was thinking, yeah, I can pick past these ball bearings and just use a shallow hook and pick off a ledge or so, just from the middle of the keyway, like I used to do very often. But no, don't touch the ball bearings or you won't get this lock open, or at least with the bitting I have here, which made it very difficult. So I can lock it up since I have the key. And yeah, let's fast forward and I see you back in a second. Okay, welcome back from fast forward. I already put the bits and pieces up here and I'll show you that in a second. But I wanted to show you the core first. It has a bit larger diameter of normal locks. It doesn't fit in my normal lock holder, which holds not standard Euros, but the Pfaffenheim, they are just a bit bigger. So yeah. Also, everything is a bit bigger, the key has more reach and probably more cut depths, I don't know. And I left the side pins in here still. And yeah, you see, this is the first one. This is basically almost flush. Maybe you can touch it a little bit, but it's very close to zero cut. And the second one also just can take a very little lift. As same with the third one. And then the fourth one is almost flush again. So if you overlift them, you really will have a bad time. And nothing will bind, believe me. But once you understand what's going on, yeah, the situation is quite manageable. So they have some serrations on them, all of them. And the serration sits towards the ball bearings, which I will show you in a second. And of course they're cut at a slight angle. They're slanted. Because they're not in the center of the core. They're off center and therefore they need to be slanted. I will not pry this out. This is where the ball bearings sit. You can see them here in the keyway. Now they are disappearing. And voila, there they are again. Yeah, these are the ones that interact with the dimples. And the further out the ball bearings are pushed, the further down these pins are pushed down. Yeah, this is how this works. And therefore the housing also has two rows basically. You see this like this, the main stack in the middle. It can be actually populated with 6 pins, drilled for 6 pins, but this one only has 5 pins. And also here the sidebar pins. I only have 4 pins in this lock, but it can be pinned up to 5 pins. So there can be 11 active elements in this lock, and this would still be a blue belt lock. I doubt it, but yeah, maybe if you know what you're doing, this is still a blue belt. Really, I cannot judge on this anymore. I'm not too biased. So let me show you the pin work. Basically, the main stack, it has no magic. It's just standard pins in basically all of the chambers except chambers 2 and 5, where we have very nice spools. These give you very nice false sets, and yeah, they don't bind at the beginning. And yeah, you can drop a lot of the pins, or unset, so to say, a lot of the pins when picking these spool pins, which is quite nasty and nice. And then we have the sidebar pins up here, 4 of them. And yeah, the ball bearing pushes on these faces. And then here's basically the shear line for those. And since it's off-centered, all of them are slanted or yeah, angled. So they can adjust for not being in the center. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4 holes in the core, as much as pins, but there would be an option for a 5th and a 6th hole here. And these holes here in the front are for drill protection. They are not populated either. Yeah, makes it a very interesting lock. Very happy that I could pick it and that I could understand what's going on. I was really confused in the beginning why nothing was binding and so on. And yeah, happy that I could get it on camera. So let me know if you've seen a video of this exact model. I've not seen one yet, and also no internal photos on the APU belt ranking homepage. I'll make sure to send some. And yeah, I guess that's all I have on this lock for now. So if you're still here, give a thumbs up, subscribe if you don't have not already. I really appreciate every one of you, and yeah, hope to see you in the next video. Bye! And yeah, leave a comment if you've seen a video of this anywhere else around on YouTube or somewhere, and let me know. Thanks for watching. Bye!